did.
Yes. All right, we
People
are
pay for their parents are rude.
live, I believe.
Oh, hey, what's up, YouTube?
Yes, we are.
Welcome to the awesemo.com live before lock show. As always, I am Chris Spags, joined by my good pal in North Carolina, Josh Engelman.
What's up, people?
Yeah, Josh is clicking things and getting ready and actually doing the production parts that we need to work. So I probably didn't need to throw to him there, but I'm going to.
Oh yeah, I'm here. I'm ready. I'm an excellent multitasker, except for when I'm not.
You never know you're not a good multitasker until it all catches up.
Exactly.
And then all of a sudden you screw up everything. Bill Butler already asking, are we talking NBA? Yes, we will talk some NBA today. I haven't done my full prep, but we're going to do more MLB, obviously, because there's an MLB slate tonight with a ton of games. Probably shouldn't curse up front. I think we have 13 games tonight. We're definitely talking NBA, though, at some point, probably after the first 15 minutes or so. We'll let people straggle in now before we start giving away all of our awesome lineup picks that are going to win millions.
I would just like it to win like a couple $100 at this point.
I'll tell you, I am feeling my lineups. Like I already did. Okay, I'll lead off right now with the part that doesn't matter at all for the stream. I entered, what I usually do is I enter the $5 tournament on DraftKings, just put in whatever amount of lineups I feel like doing.
Mm-hmm.
I had a bit of a brain fart. They have a $55 tournament tonight as well. So I have 2 entries in a $55 tournament and 10 in a $5.
Oh, perfect.
So the $55 I am not trusting with the live stream picking it. The $5 one, though, I will be doing later at the end of the show like we did last night. My lineup that we did last time on the show actually did cash. So that was not bullshit. I do actually have it up. Took a screen grab so I'd be ready because we are production professionals who outline everything in advance. The lineup that I had went 8,313. Good enough for $8 on $5.
There you go.
So big profit. That's like 60%, right?
That'll work.
Killing it. The pitchers that I had were Barrios, who was the best pitcher on the slate, also the most owned pitcher on the slate.
Yeah.
Or was he the best, or was Porcello better? I don't even know.
I think it was Barrios.
And Porcello was perfect through 6. I would assume he was maybe good, but maybe Barrios was probably better. And then Tropiano, our guy, who we backed, came through. That was actually good.
I was very happy with that when I woke up.
I guess I shouldn't be surprised when I say that, but like, he really he came through, like big time. Then Wieters was garbage, which we kind of knew. I think we knew that going in.
Yeah.
But we were stacking there. Joe Mauer did pretty well. Dozier did pretty well. Could have done better, both of them, but did pretty well. Not having LeMahieu was a big issue, given that guy had like 40 points.
Yeah, I mean, well, he went yard like while we were still on the live stream last night, so he got off to a pretty torrid start.
It's weird when that happens, because that really dictated the entire slate, and there was no digging out of it. Nobody besides Mike Trout, who I had on my lineup, came close. Mike Trout got 24 points. Trey Turner and Bryce Harper putting up zeros. That was a kick in the dom.
That surprised me a lot.
Yeah, that one didn't make a lot of sense.
I guess not a lot. I mean, that's going to happen, but I didn't expect that last night in particular.
I mean, they were both highly owned. They were both 36, 37% on DraftKings. So, I mean, I wasn't alone. Like tonight, I won't be alone with the picks that we have. That was a real good transition. This is what hosts do, right? They compliment themselves when they do basic broadcasting things. I think so. Yeah, so our lineups tonight, who are we looking at the most? Obviously, you had your spotlight hitters today. We've been told, I was told actually today, did a call with one of our overlords at awesemo.com, who, by the way, we are doing a promotion on FanDuel, fanduel.com/awesemo. It's a $3 single entry tournament. If you get in now, you can do just the New Orleans and Portland game. So everybody talking NBA in the chat, I expect you to go sign up right now, fanduel.com/awesemo.
Yes.
If you sign up, Awesemo is giving you his actual projections for it, not just rankings. So you can use that to win money and take money from the people who are signing up who were, I don't know that part of the ecosystem. But fanduel.com/awesemo, AWESEMO.
Yeah, just like it is on my screen right now. And that's just a placeholder, people. Don't try to steal my stuff.
Yeah, you could steal the lineup that we make together at the end, and then we can all split the winnings like like a big family who is mad that they got a good lineup from a live stream.
I hope by we could all split the winnings, you mean the two of us.
Yes. I mean, you know, if they enter the same lineup, they can split the winnings. They have to do that part on their own.
Right.
But we probably won't give them enough time to do it because I'll just end at like 4:04. I'll submit my lineup. All right. So where are we going tonight? We have a lot of games, a lot of pitchers. One game got canceled already or postponed.
Yeah.
Where are we looking tonight? Who are the top guys?
For me, Eduardo Rodriguez is my favorite, like overall play as a pitcher on FanDuel. You know, not necessarily like in the same sort of stratosphere as Garrett Cole, but at 6,600, I just love the value and love sort of his ability to pick up a win tonight, which is very vital for a FanDuel pitcher, comparatively speaking to DK. That's like my main focus. I'll have a lot of him. I'll have a good amount of Cole. Let's see. You know, and then probably like a smattering of everybody else. A Red Sox stack should go without saying that it's awesome. It's just
a lot of people are going to be on that Rodriguez Red Sox stack. I am currently very on it. So
yeah,
I assume a lot of people.
I mean, when you have an implied total like that, where you're a favorite by basically 2 full runs, like it'll be chalk for a reason. It's just a loaded scenario. I like the Angels stack a lot. I like the Nats stack a lot. I'm warming on the Yankees quite a bit. So we'll be all over the place.
They do have the second highest total on the slate, right?
Who?
The Yankees?
Angels, I think.
Okay.
I have it as the Angels, but they should both be close. What up, Beto?
Let's see. Yeah. On our rankings at Osmo.com, which you should be able to get to now.
Yes.
Yeah, we have the Yankees at 5.6. The Nationals at 5.5, and also the Angels at 5.5. So it's negligible. They're all in that same range. Houston too.
Sure.
So a lot of directions you can go, actually. A lot of people are going to go Boston, but with that second team, if you're doing a double stack, which is what you should be doing, you will be getting probably, you know, Boston and then one of these teams. So which of them out of your favorite, out of those 4 that are in the 5.6, 5.5 area, would you go with? You got New York, you got Detroit. Detroit can't be right.
No.
That's weird. Yeah, I guess if I sort by ranking, anyway, whatever. Out of that group of guys of teams who are in that same range, which would you go with the most? So Boston we're saying is the best. Which of those other 3 would?
I've been getting more Nats than anybody else. That was in my earlier build. I don't know why it's like stuck open. Okay, there we go. When I originally did my build, you know, earlier this afternoon, it was obviously Red Sox far and away, and then a bunch of Nats. But I've gone through and updated all my game lines and stuff, so I'm expecting to see a bit more Angels when I dump that in here, which is slowly but surely getting to that point. There's not too many more lineups that haven't been released yet, so I'm trying to hold off until last possible second-ish.
Makes sense. One of my favorite plays, who I landed on a lot, and I don't know that it's smart, but it is a play.
I'm very excited. Hit me with it.
So Severino on the Nationals, I landed on a catcher a lot, and he doesn't have a big sample size on FanGraphs, but what he does have on FanGraphs looks really good for the matchup. So I actually had a lot of stacks with, let me see, Severino, Rendon, why did I open it? Severino, Rendon, Defoe, I have a little bit of, and then Kendrick, who's been great. And I actually had a little bit last night, and he's been on a pretty good run, and he matches up well too. So I went with a little of the less conventional Nationals, and they seem like they graded out pretty well in terms of ISO and BABIP.
Yeah, Severino will probably not be super owned, so that's just a guess, though.
I mean, he's a little lower down the order, but again, versus you know,
I like it to differentiate that lineup if you're taking, you know, a bunch of Nats.
Yeah, I mean, look, so this is what I was told today, was that we really should be pushing stacks because stacks are by far the most beneficial way to be laying out your lineup. And Because the guys were watching us do the lineups last night, and we stacked a little, but like the goal was really just to stack like 2 teams, maybe 3. But so I mean that's something to consider when you're making lineups tonight for a lot of the people who are in the chat who are doing this for the first time. Really try to stack hard.
Yeah, I usually do a 4-3 on FanDuel, or at least that's my intention.
Yeah, you can go up to 5. I mean, there are
only on DK.
Ways. Oh, you can't do that on FanDuel. Oh, no. Interesting. They're really impressing you guys on FanDuel with lineup construction.
So
or helping, I guess.
Yeah, it all depends. Every game's unique. Like at least everybody has the same rule set.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll take a few questions now from the chat.
Yeah, hit me.
Josh's boy Beto, just addressing Josh, which is hurtful. Is Garrett Cole still the best pitcher from the top guys, Josh?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, he seems like by far and away, based on the odds and all of that, plus his actual ability, it seems like it's hard to go with anybody else as a top guy.
I guess I need to answer that question for both sides. So for me, I wouldn't say like far and away. But to me, he's number 1 on the top on FanDuel, and I probably wouldn't try I wouldn't take anybody else as convincing on anything else. On DK, you can probably talk me into Kenta Maeda, and I could listen to you to save that 2,100. It all depends what you're doing with that money. I have no interest really in Greinke. Not that he couldn't play well, but I just don't think he's the same sort of value.
And the strikeout rate's not that great, which, you're not getting as much for your money there if you're going with Greinke.
Who the hell were the Twins supposed to play? The White Sox.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so like Maeda actually I like a lot too, and he was good earlier a couple games ago. That total is very low. He pitches pretty well at home too. So I mean, there's a lot of reasons to go to Kenta Maeda as a pivot off of Cole, because Cole is going to probably be the most owned pitcher on the slate.
I would expect that, yes.
Let's see.
Do we have ownership up yet?
I don't think so, not yet. Jizz Dragon asks, is he going to get effed for taking heavy amounts of Rourke tonight? I have a couple Rourkes. I think Rourke is fine, especially with the national stack. I didn't mind it.
Yeah, I'll have a little bit of him. I don't hate it.
Yeah, I think he looked like a pretty decent play overall. I mean, he's like middle of the pack, but the Vegas odds seem to indicate he's not that bad. His xFIP is okay. He's not going to get you a ton of strikeouts, but in theory, he should be able to keep the ball down and not get rocked. So
yeah, again, I like him more on FanDuel than I do on DK because of the potential for the win.
That makes sense. Who is a good 4K bat? Good question. Who is a good 4K bat? We have our rankings are up now on their own individual pages.
Yeah, static pages now. So bookmark those things.
Yeah, so you honestly don't have to go to the homepage if you want. You could bookmark a tab with all the stuff on Osmo.com, all the rankings URLs, and they'll be the same now every day.
I mean, you're going to want to still go to the homepage and grab all of my stuff and Jake's stuff.
But, like for me, I mean, honestly, just as a usage case, like for me, I like to have a page of bookmarks. So yes, you should also have the homepage bookmark and go to that. But you can also just have these URLs bookmarked on your, on your browser, open a tab full or a window full of all these tabs, and you'll have all the rankings ready to go.
So is Fantasy Cruncher eating dong for anybody else, or is that just me?
I'm not using it for baseball, so I don't know. I'm an only basketball
fan. As of right now, neither am I.
4,000 hitter on DraftKings. Oh, Benintendi is probably our guy at 4,000. I think we liked him a lot. I think Josh liked him too. Actually, no, you like Betts, but or more.
I mean, I like everybody on the Red Sox. I just like Betts best. That's a hard thing to say. 4,000 hitter on DK. JD Martinez.
Martinez is 4,800, I think, isn't he?
Oh, I'm looking at the FanDuel price. Okay. Curtis Granderson. Benintendi, probably.
Zimmerman, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we like...
I like Kinsler a little bit. Yeah,
Is
so
there
Fantasy Cruncher really needs to poop or get off the pot here.
I mean, listen, I've had issues with them. We've chronicled them with entering my lineups, so I won't speak ill of them. But you know, when other things are slowing down in your browser, that slows down 10 times more.
Yes, it does. I had to stop using Chrome for it when I first started my YouTube channel, and I had my like crappier computer. If I tried to crunch, it would crash like the stream all the time. It's just I didn't have enough. My computer just didn't have enough to do it.
That might be good to know because like I use it on Chrome, and man, I could not get anything going that one day when I was trying to do my NBA lineups and adjust and get whatever guy in.
Yeah.
That was which could be any day on the stream basically.
Yeah. Now I've got a baller. Now I've got a baller computer thanks to my loyal viewers.
Oh, that's right. Your people bought that after watching your videos for so long. They went to your Amazon wish list.
They basically did. I paid very little for this out of pocket.
Hey, look, that's what it's all about. I mean, we are all about community building. People have actually won money off of this, and you know, we're not a tout channel, but I'm touting, I guess. But people have won money and stuff, so they should donate to Josh. Josh's projections have been very valuable throughout the year.
Yeah, you know, a couple bucks here or there. It made it really easy. I appreciated it.
A couple shekels, no big deal. All right, MLB. We'll take a couple more questions, and then we're going to talk NBA playoffs a little. Let's preview some stuff, and then we'll go back to baseball before lock. But
and just to touch on basketball quick, I'll have a basketball video out relatively early tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow is an early start for basketball. If you're playing the main slates, it's at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m.
I thought it was earlier than that.
For me, that's like the worst because I think I actually got to write. I'm doing the column for the playoffs, at least for the first couple weeks. And, yeah, I'm going to have to wake up early or do it tonight. I don't even know. Ugh.
Yeah, you could also donate to Jake, apparently. He has Venmo, so.
Oh, yeah? Are we donating to Jake now? I think we should donate to the host.
I don't know. Jake's in chat begging for scratch.
I mean, in fairness, Jake is probably the lowest paid of us. Josh and I are very highly paid and handsome, whereas Jake is just handsome. Early NBA for us in Europe. Oh yeah, that's very early in Europe. That's like the opposite of like the London football games. You're getting basketball at an ungodly hour. Roosevelt Hooker, we will not be live tomorrow. We're doing just Monday to Fridays.
Yeah.
Basketball, I mean, is going to be pretty straightforward. There aren't going to be a ton of injuries. I guess the Wizards have some right now.
Yeah, Mike Scott's out, right?
Yeah, Mike Scott's in the concussion protocol. Otto Porter's questionable. So
I assume Porter's playing.
I would assume he wouldn't miss this game, but there was a lot of talk on Bill Simmons' podcast this week about the Wizards' disharmony. And given what he kind of knows with all these people who hear all the whispers in the NBA, I wonder how that's going to shake out in the playoffs, or if it's going to shake out at all.
I don't know. I don't know what to think of that team.
They've been really good at stretches this year. Like they had a run like Philly had where they were just kind of dusting everyone, and then it ended, and now they've just been not that great. But they did have moments. Looked like a great team.
I wanted them to be a destination for Cousins, and I always saw that like, you know, Otto Porter for Cousins swap would be like such a natural trade for the Pelicans. But like now, I don't think that's ever going to happen. I think they'd be more likely to ship out Wall.
Yeah, it's strange that John Wall is like an elite point guard. It's probably, I mean, not probably going to get traded, but if you had to guess, probably 50-50 that he gets traded this summer.
I don't know how they would trade him. I mean, granted, I didn't think Blake Griffin was possible to get traded, and they got, you know, what I would consider a haul. So.
Oh yeah, especially considering how the Pistons turned out with Blake. I mean, getting Harris, Bradley, and all that.
Yeah, like if you're gonna do it, you need to do if you're gonna trade Wall, you need to trade him at a time where some guy like Stan is, you know, praying for his job and doing it. So like, I don't know, Tibbs next year or something.
I think there are a lot of teams who would take a flyer on Wall just to get like the third banana guy, or to get a second banana to get a third banana.
He's
like
gonna make sort of $40 million a year in 2 years.
I don't think it matters though. I think everybody buys so much into the whole star thing, even though like there are teams showing right now that's not necessarily how you have to build. But I think that there's like, I think it's just you have to take on Wall if you're a team like, you know, Atlanta. Why not?
I don't even know how they would get him.
Damian Lee, straight up.
It's it would have to be like Bazemore and Dennis Schroeder, and like I'm just trying to think of guys that have the salary to make that something like that work.
Well, I think the Hawks could take back less salary because they're probably way under the cap.
Maybe.
I mean, the Hawks could get back less salary rather.
Maybe.
Pretty sure that's how it works. I think.
I don't know where they're at from a cap perspective. Not right now, at least.
I assume the Wizards are way over it, and I assume the Hawks are way under it because the Hawks. If you look at that Hawks lineup, I think they're paying Bazemore like $15 million. Everything else is just like shit, and then just G leaguers pretty much.
They've got like one of the Plumlees makes some money there.
I'm sure he's balling out.
Now I just want to know.
Let's look up Atlanta Hawks cap. This is actually just become a salary cap live stream. We're not
doing fine by me. I love this shit.
Yeah, fast salary caps to real life salary caps.
Nobody's calling me via Hangouts, to my knowledge, unless that was on purpose. All right, where are we at? So Hawks cap 17. So next year, yeah, I knew Miles Plumlee was still on the hook for like, Jesus, 25 more million in 2 more years. But yeah, no, they would be able to absorb Wall directly. They're
yeah,
like
I mean, I think
33 under. It'd be close. You might have to renounce some people. They'd be close to be able to take them directly into cap space.
I just think there's a move like that. I mean, and there are other teams too, I'm sure, have better matching salaries. Like I'm trying to think who's like a middle of the pack team who, I mean, the Magic maybe. I mean, they're not middle of the pack; they're a little lower than that. But you know, there's enough guys out there who would just take a flyer on a guy like John Wall just to get him in the mix. Anyway, they are playing a playoff series.
Trade him to the Pelicans for Drew Holiday.
Yeah, but I don't think I would do that if I were the Pelicans, to be honest. Drew's been a pretty good cog.
Wall, Boogie, AD. Just run out some fucking Kentucky lineup.
That would be a pretty that is a big 3. That is a legitimate big 3. All right, NBA in general. So we have odds. We have over-unders and totals and all that. So the Warriors are favored by 8 against the Spurs. The total in that game is 206. So that's not a super high total in that game. There'll still be a lot of usage to go around. So you're going to want to be maybe some exposure to Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
That also seems like a Kyle Anderson game.
Ooh.
Which I love. Because Kyle Anderson games people can never figure out, but Kyle Anderson games are whenever there's like a very dominant small forward or power forward.
I don't ever really like Kyle Anderson games.
I don't, except that I've been on the right side of them 3 times this year, and that's felt like you feel like a wizard if you guess Kyle Anderson correctly.
Yeah, then I have no magic in me. If we're gonna keep naming weird NBA teams as reference points. I never feel like a wizard. I don't have any magic.
But you do have a lot of heat.
No. I feel like a pelican. I don't know what that means.
A fantasy cruncher is crazy slow. I just clicked Kyle Anderson like 3 times to get his stat window.
I'm not even opening it until I need to.
So Kyle Anderson owns 1 43-point game versus Golden State this year, which is the one game that they had Durant versus the Spurs.
What's he priced at?
He is 4,600 on DK. I don't know what he is on FanDuel.
5,300 on FanDuel. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind that price at all for Kyle Anderson.
And he's been in that scoring range anyway, recently. He's been at 23-ish, 25, and that's, without a matchup that he needs to be playing a lot of minutes in. Just a thought.
Kyle Lowry is 6,800 on FanDuel tomorrow.
Lowry is?
Yeah.
After that big game, he got on track. He really doesn't like Miami still because they got rid of him at some point. That is a guy, by the way, like, there are some people I know revenge is not a statistic, so we don't really believe in it, blah, blah, blah. But Lowry is like a spiteful guy when he plays Miami.
Yeah, he plays Washington tomorrow, so that it might not matter as much how much he hates Miami.
But, I mean, the fact that he went off that big on the last day of the season was absurd. Like, nobody was...
I see what you're saying.
Like, it just struck me as odd, is all, because he was so bad down the stretch. And then all of a sudden, he's like, 1 more for these assholes.
He's 6,800. He's going to be popular just off the top of my head. I haven't loaded up my stuff yet.
Yeah, I haven't checked projections and like the overall stuff that'll be in the Switch and Hedge tomorrow on awesemo.com. By the way, one reminder, we already said it, but there's new people coming into the stream. If you are interested in basketball at all, you should be playing our single game thing with FanDuel tomorrow, fanduel.com/awesemo, AWESEMO. And it is a single game on FanDuel. They're rolling it out for every playoff game. You can pick, I think, 4 guys. And then that's it. You just have to watch one game. It's a good way to invest in one type of game. And we are rolling one contest out with New Orleans and Portland. So you basically can pay $20,000 for AD, $14,000 for Damian Lillard. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Tough choices. I don't even honestly like. Have you looked at it all? Like, I don't even know where to go in it.
I've got some thoughts. Maybe I'll share those tomorrow during the basketball show.
We will also have Alex Awesemo's projections for the game if you sign up. So make sure to go sign up at fanduel.com/awesemo. And you can get projections and win money from your fellow awesemo.com followers.
And when he says projections, he means projections. This will not just be the rankings that you are used to. They will be legitimate projections for this contest for tomorrow.
Yep, so that means you can also use them for the regular tournaments so you know exactly what Alex is looking at this weekend when he is being Awesemo. I assume that there's like 2 different personalities, like a Tyler Durden thing. And he just puts on his like sexy club outfit and he's Awesemo. He's using those projections to take all of our monies.
Yeah.
Right? I just like the image that I conjured up, to be honest. Let's see the chat. Chat, what do we got? Anything good? Patty Mills. Patty Mills versus the Warriors is also not a bad play. Patty Mills has been playing a lot of minutes.
I wonder if he's going to be their playoff point guard.
Boy, Pop does not trust DeJounte Murray. I will tell you that much. That guy has gotten.
But I can see this being Pop's like, here's how I get Murray 30 minutes a game in the playoffs now to get him ready for like next year. I could see Pop seeing the writing on the wall for this. Using this as a dress rehearsal. I
mean, he's been so mean to him in the regular season, though, where like he just gets pulled like for Tony Parker pretty often, and I think that kind of worries me with him in the playoffs. The matchup is a fine one for him. Actually, let's see. I'm not sure about his performance history versus Golden State, but it does feel like a matchup where he can do some things, grab a lot of rebounds. That's all stuff that that Murray does well. Yeah. But if he fucks up and the Golden State defense, like if he lets a couple plays go by, Pop will bench him like fast.
Oh, for sure. I mean, he was like benched for a good stretch of the season. Like he wasn't even playing. Which was weird.
He's been up and down. The up is really good though when he is up.
Yeah.
And the price is very appealing on DraftKings. He's 5,500 on DraftKings actually. He's had 2 games versus Golden State this year. One was 29 points. One was 21. So
I want to hit 2 questions from the chat quick.
Go for it.
1, yes, I will have a video for tomorrow's slate. 2, Roosevelt Hooker. When you cash, which percentage do you keep in your bankroll? I keep all of it because there's no other way to lose your entire bankroll without leaving it all in there.
There you go. I spend all of it.
Yeah, no, it just stays in there, and I take money out of my bankroll whenever I want to like go on vacation with the wife.
It depends for me. I'll take money out if I had to deposit sometime. But like for me, like I'm usually going in and out with money. Yeah. So I think that's.
I don't keep too much in there because it's so easy to deposit at a moment's notice. I'd rather have it make interest in my own bank account.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate the people at FanDuel and DraftKings, but they don't need to hold my money. We already have banks holding my money, and I'm just putting money in a mattress personally whenever I can.
Right. You can deposit on FanDuel with Apple Pay, so I don't really think too much about it.
God, it is simple. It is as simple as ever to deposit money to all these sites. Speaking of which, we are launching premium soon for awesemo.com. So
yes, we are.
To deposit money for that, because that is going to be a worthwhile expense.
It is.
All right, more MLB stuff. With Boston Stack being mega chalk tonight, whether team stack is the next best thing, we sort of answered that. I think Josh thinks the Angels are, but I think that doesn't mean you can't stack both Boston and either the Astros or the Angels, or
Yeah,
just the Astros.
There's a lot of overlapping good stacks. I think there's a lot of like just natural no-go stacks today, but Nats, Yanks, Astros, Angels, like those are all very viable and all sort of in the same genre. It all depends sort of what you're looking for, but they all grade out very similarly. I'd love to show you guys what's coming out for me, but Fantasy Cruncher is making me incredibly nervous right now.
Yeah, it was running like shit for me when I was just trying to look at the basketball stuff. So
I mean, I'm glad that it's running like shit for you, so that I know that it's a widespread issue and not just like my own personal problem.
No, it is. I'm in the same boat with you, except that I'm not using it for lineups, so I'm not really in the same boat. I'm actually safe for lineups other than the one that we're going to make shortly. Steven Matz on DraftKings with Garrett Cole. He looked okay to me statistically, and his price is okay. But we have him as a C in points and a B in value on Awesomo's rankings, and that is pretty low. So, you know, I'd rather go up a little for Eduardo Rodriguez personally, but you can do it. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, I believe in you. I wouldn't go crazy over it. I wouldn't like aggressively try to talk you out of it either. He's just sort of like one of those guys in the middle tier of salaries that's sort of like vanilla ice cream to me.
Yep, that makes sense. Will anything currently available on the site be locked behind premium? I think we don't know for sure. I think ownership projections are going to be.
Yes.
We'll still kind of talk about them on the show. You know, like if you want to see all of them, you're gonna have to sign up. But we're gonna talk about the main ones. Like I think it's not gonna be a big hidden secret, but I think to get the very particular data you want to win tournaments and stuff, that's probably gonna be premium now now forward soon.
Yeah, I mean, we're always going to be talking about some of the stuff. Otherwise, it's going to make for a really weird stream where we don't reference anything that we have on the site.
Just keep plugging it over and over again. To hear more, it's going to be like the old WWE like hotlines or WCW hotlines. Like, call in to get the true details on this backstage fight. Just whoring ourselves over and over again.
That's how I found out that Hulk Hogan joined the NWO.
I found out about that in the Daily News. I saw the wrestling results in the score section.
Really? Yeah, I called right before I went to my Little League All-Star practice.
Huh.
I can picture it clear as day. I can picture walking up to the field and be like, did you hear the third guy was Hulk Hogan?
That's funny that like you would do that. I mean, that's so crazy because people like now these kids watching the stream, I have no clue like the effort you had to go to like to watch anything or even pick up basic news items.
Yeah, like my mom worked with a guy that would get like WWF pay-per-views and record them on like a VHS tape. So like ultimately after that, like a week or two after the pay-per-view, she would bring me home that VHS copy of the pay-per-view and I would get to watch the pay-per-view, which was just like the greatest thing ever.
Now, we could talk wrestling pay-per-views more. The chat is saying that there are issues with the stream. It's apparently degraded in quality significantly. I don't know if it's Fantasy Cruncher's fault too. Honestly, we might just blame them for everything that's wrong on the internet.
It honestly might have been because I have Fantasy Cruncher in the background, just like chugging away at nothing.
Fantasy Cruncher is killing our show. It's tearing us apart. But no, guys, I saw your chat. I'm not going to cut Josh off to address our stream being shit.
Yeah, so, I mean, it looks good now that I closed that, so I need to figure out a way to save myself right now.
I think you need to write a sternly worded email to Fantasy Cruncher's team and be like, hey, I mean, even if you're not, I think your account's free, right? But still, refund your money.
Yeah, I'm not in any position to complain about something that I think I'm supposed to have for free until like 2038. So
that's a long time.
Yeah,
that's a long time to have a product that's $50 a month.
Yeah, I don't want to pay for it. I'm really happy with like trying not to talk about that.
you know what? Maybe one day we'll have an optimizer, and then it'll be like, screw you, Fantasy Cruncher, and your free 20-year licenses for Josh Engelman that I pay for fucking like an asshole.
Yeah.
You know what? Actually, this should be my new gimmick. I'm just going to trash Fantasy Cruncher on the stream until they give me a free membership.
There you go. I went the other way with it. I was super nice for them, wrote a couple articles.
I mean, look, that approach works too, but I feel like you catch more flies with vinegar. Isn't that it? You not sugar?
I don't know. I don't think that doesn't sound right. I feel like I would catch way more flies.
I know. It's the inverse. That was a joke. You're not supposed to be mean to people to get what you want. But
I get it.
I'd prefer to be a bully. I also like when people say to my jokes, oh, I get it. That's the goal on the stream.
All right. I need
baseball.
Copy over every lineup that I have.
While Josh starts doing that, you get to see our process. This is part of the fun of the Osmo.com Live Before Lock stream. You get to watch Josh and I struggle as we try to use optimizers and our own facilities to try to get things done, and inevitably fail before lock. So yeah, this could be fun.
I mean, that's been a note in the show notes for like 6 months. Watch me struggle to get my lineups and ultimately usually fail.
So there you go. So we're living up to the hype.
At the very least, I've got one lineup in. Now, if I'm going to have to not use Fantasy Cruncher, I need to build like a legitimate single line. So this should be an interesting day.
I think you can do it. I believe in you. We also do have to build my lineup, which is the part of the show where all of you do my homework for me and do a lineup. Though actually, I have a pretty strong inclination. Like, it was hard for me to not do the lineup in advance because I was really feeling my Washington-Boston stacks. They were looking tasty. They were looking like a snack.
Yeah, I'm building those stacks right now. I'm gonna, man, I feel like I don't have a choice and I have to go Red Sox.
Your boy Beto's having a little tantrum in the chat.
Beto, I would never ban you.
I don't know what's going on there. Is it like a little lovers quarrel with Josh? Should your wife and I be worried?
No, Beto. I made Beto a temporary mod one day in the chat.
I couldn't hold the job down, huh, Beto? That's
we got I think it was the day that they ran some sort of like weird chat flash mob, and all these people just showed up and took over the chat and just kept saying shit. Warriors blew a 3-1 lead type stuff.
Oh, okay. That's fun. That's unique content.
It was so annoying. I hated it so much. Like, while it was happening.
At least like troll you or something. Like, give you like be mean. If you're gonna be assholes, like, have a point.
Yeah, Beta. Yeah, we had 600 people in here. It got really ridiculous.
Oh wow, that's good. You know, one day we're gonna have 600 people in here, and they're all gonna be positive, and they're all gonna ask us the same questions over and over again.
Well, like 595 will at least.
Yes. Matthew Produel, what of my OF options? I think you mean what are they? Or what? Oh, no, there you go. What of them? Pick 3 of these guys: Mike Trout, Stanton, Lorenzo Cain, Marte, or Santana. Which of those 3 would you pick, Josh Engelman?
Which site?
I don't know. Just going raw points.
It still matters.
Raw points is my favorite thing to say. I just feel like that's a crutch for every time that like people don't know what to say. They just say, "Guy, you're just looking at raw points." That's why.
Okay. Let me give the real answer here. Trout. That's not an answer. Trout, Stanton, Cain, Marte, Santana. Give me Trout, Santana, and Stanton.
Okay. I like the thought that went in there. I could see like the wheels in your brain spinning before I looked at my phone.
Yeah, it's not Cain for me.
Yeah, Kane is priced with a lot of guys. When I looked up the $4,000 guys, he's priced with a lot of dudes I'd rather go with. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with that answer.
Let's see where.
Okay, so I need to grab Mitch Moreland.
For Lorenzo Kane, though, we do have him as a B and a B on Awesemo.com for value and points.
Yeah, like he's I like him. He's fine.
Benintendi's an A and an A, though.
Yeah, it's kind of like when people have the conversation of Simmons or oh my god. There's too much baseball in my head now, and now I'm forgetting Donovan Mitchell. Jesus.
Oh, see, that one actually.
If you pick one person, it's not an indictment on the other. Everybody can be good.
Yeah. So okay, it's a bit of a tangent. We have to do my lineup. We're going to do that next. So you can steal my lineup when we do it. But I tweeted Bomani Jones too because we're Twitter pals for some reason. He responds whenever I talk about basketball, or I don't know, it's weird.
That's fine.
Yeah, a big Bomani Jones guy. Me and him very similar issues and causes. And he was talking with people about Ben Simmons and like why Ben Simmons is like clearly a better player, which I agree with. But I think there's something weirdly racial with like how people don't like Ben Simmons. Like they like Donovan Mitchell because he's a jump shooter. And it's like there's like this weird thing when I tweet about Fultz and I've talked about him, people hate Fultz and they're like, you can't even shoot a jumper. He's not a basketball player. It's like a weird like black quarterback debate with guys who can't shoot jumpers now. I guess it's not racial because like they're all black men, but like it's like racial against people who can't shoot jumpers. I don't know.
It is kind of weird.
There's something strange about it which I can't fully figure out, but people get angry about Ben Simmons not being able to shoot a jumper, which I don't get.
I don't get it either.
I don't know. See, Jay Carter likes Bomani. I agree. Bomani's very funny sometimes, and like he also is pretty good at trolling a particular audience on Twitter who gets very worked up about a black man having strong opinions, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, I like him. I mean, like most everybody. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. I like 80% of him. Just like par for the course for most people in media.
Your projections don't like him. You like him just fine.
Wait, what are we talking about now?
Are we talking about Bomani or Ben Simmons?
Oh, I was talking about Bomani.
Okay, both. I think it could apply for
I don't have like talking head projections. What?
A world where Skip Bayless is a $10,000 player.
Yeah, like Skip. Yeah, exactly.
Oh god, that would
I'm not buying the Skip Bayless stock.
What if we did like a DFS game based upon just watching ESPN? It could be viable, to be honest.
I'd be in. We'll figure it out.
All right. MLB lineups. Anybody watch the games through Reddit? I don't know if I'm supposed to say this on a stream. Reddit's r/NBA streams is fantastic, and it's much better than League Passes sometimes, which is upsetting because I pay for a League Pass.
We're certainly not supposed to say that on a stream. Let's just be clear.
Well, you know what? The buzz on the street then is that Reddit's r/NBA streams often works better than the product you pay for.
I've heard there's good streams on Reddit. I cannot relate to that sort of situation. Wink, wink. Yes, or I could just wink. I guess I don't have to say wink.
Look, I pay for cable and I pay for League Pass. If I want to stream a game illegally, I should be allowed. Like I paid for this.
Paying for League Pass, that's different then.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, like I pay for League Pass and I get disappointed when it comes up.
League Pass is great if I'm trying to watch a basketball game in my bed. If I'm sitting at the computer, I'm like, I've heard of people wanting to go to Reddit to watch it instead.
Yeah, I could absolutely see that. For me, like League Pass on the Xbox app craps out all the time, and then actually on my iPad too, sometimes like the stream will just start like shit in the bed, and then NBA streams will be fine because it just has like whatever the local feed is. So whatever. Anyway, I'm just just teaching you.
My Roku works great. I can't complain at all.
Yeah, Roku I have in my bedroom, but I don't use it that often. I actually watch TV in the bedroom. I don't know why. I'm always a living room TV guy.
I try to stay out of my living room.
Why? Just hate it?
We've got like a media room, which I prefer.
Ooh.
A little bit more comfortable. Okay. The living room, the dogs like The dogs have ruined the couches, so I'm in the market for a couch.
Oh, well, yeah, dogs will do that. My couch before I moved out here, I had an old couch for like 7 years, and that was just dogs that vomited, diarrheaed on it. I washed the cushions, but they're still unclean.
So mine, they lay on the top of it, and the cushions are starting to like rip from the back of the couch from the pressure of them laying on it. So.
Ah, really? So yeah, my dogs don't they're not tearing the couch up. My Labrador just gets fur everywhere, which stick, frankly, forever.
They just treat it like it's a gigantic pillow. That's sort of my problem.
I like when my dog, I don't like it because it's like a direct affront to me as a man, like what she's doing. But she when I get up out of bed, she'll roll around on her back to get her stank on my side of the bed. It's always adorable. You see dogs do it on Twitter or Instagram. It's it's so cute. But I know she's doing it because that's a weird, I'm taking your spot. Blah, blah, blah,
yep,
move.
exactly.
All right, well, Fantasy Cruncher's down, so we might as well make my lineup. I think that's what we should do.
Agreed.
Pitcher. Do we just go Garrett Cole and shut up about it, or do we want to be foxy and go Maeda? I'll go Rodriguez for pitcher number 2, just to be clear. I think Rodriguez we've agreed upon.
Yeah, I've got Rodriguez going now in my manual build, which I'm incredibly bad at doing since I never do this.
So we're all right. So we're in on Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Chat, also feel free to chime in as we say these. I'll see them whenever they pop up in the stream. I think for the second pitcher, then we're thinking either Cole. Stroman has a pretty good, he has the lowest xFIP on the slate. Odds aren't terrible for him. I actually do have one lineup, which is a Stroman Clevenger pitchers duel build, just because I thought it was a fun thing to do. Any thoughts on Stroman? Any feelings for him at all?
I don't like him tonight.
Okay, we don't like Stroman. Triggs. What about Triggs?
No.
8 strikeouts per 9 for Triggs. That's not bad. I don't love it. It's not bad.
I'd rather have Velasquez.
I do have one lineup with Velasquez. Okay, this is tough then. I guess it depends on which hitters we're gonna go with, but I don't know that we need the savings. Fuck it. We're going Velasquez. Fine.
It's all close,
right.
But
actually, no. There's 2 Triggs in the chat. All right, Triggs it is. I'm going with the chat and not you, Josh. I'm going to go with the people who honestly might not even be human. They could be dogs just talking.
Just a bunch of bots.
Yeah, it could be Russian bots that are just going to affect our DFS elections.
That's probably the most likely sscenario, right?
I think so. The odds would say that. All right, Triggs it is. Triggs is my number 2 pitcher. I mentioned, okay, who is your catcher pick? I guess we should talk more about stacks.
We should.
I was in on Severino being a key part of that Washington stack, but I'm willing to go somewhere else with it.
Let me pull up catchers for DK.
Yeah, we got Sanchez and Grandal up top. Grandal is, I would say, a non-starter given that total. Sanchez is okay. If we're doing a Yankee stack, Sanchez is okay.
Yeah. You could take a look at what do we have Christian Vasquez ranked at?
Christian Vasquez, we have. I'm gonna blame Fantasy Cruncher for me that's typing too. He is a D, but a B value.
Okay, that's sort of what I meant. If you were just looking at catchers, you probably wouldn't see a lot of super high
right.
fantasy.
They're all under the batting order.
Outside of Gary Sanchez, and probably Posey.
So you're thinking go a Boston stack then? Start with Vasquez.
I'm fine with you keeping Severino.
Severino?
Weren't you just talking about having Severino?
No, we're talking about catchers.
Aren't we talking about the same thing?
No, you mean Sanchez?
No, I mean Severino, catcher for the Nats.
Oh, that's Severino. Sorry. Okay. Yes. Okay, Severino or Vasquez? I have a lot of Severino already, though. That would be my one thing.
I mean, if Vasquez is going to be part of a Red Sox stack, that's fine.
All right, yeah, let me do that. I think we'd like the Red Sox stack a little more. I'll keep Severino as my special guy. If you guys want to use Severino too. To be honest, I forgot that Severino is Severino. That's why I was so confused. They were talking about Luis Severino. I was like, what?
That's great.
Look, I landed on him. It doesn't mean I was going to remember him forever.
Perfect. That's what they're here for.
So then first base, I had a lot of Moreland before for the Red Sox, Mitch Moreland. So I'm not opposed to going him again. I don't mind going somewhere else at first base.
I just pulled Moreland out. Not that I don't have. Not that I'm not fond of him. I went to Pujols instead. In my one lineup build, since I don't trust Fantasy Cruncher right now, and I'm just bailing and playing everything one lineup, and I hate myself for it.
Oh, Brian Menifee thinks Severino over Vasquez. Thanks, Brian Menifee. I'm glad we're on the same page.
Yeah, yeah, I'm fine with it too. I mean, look, I don't want to have either of those guys in a one-off scenario, so if we're stacking either of those teams, I like them both.
Yeah, okay, that seems fair. No, not Eric Moreland, though. If Mitch Moreland put up Eric Moreland numbers tonight, I'd be stoked. If Mitch Moreland puts up 57 points, yeah. I will be ecstatic.
Can you imagine Eric Moreland on a baseball field? God, dude's huge.
It's like Aaron Judge.
Yeah, for real.
All right, so you went Pujols. I don't have any Angel stacks at all. You know what? Zimmerman's not a bad play. We have him as a B and a B on Osmo.com.
I just slotted Zimmerman in.
All right, that's destiny then. Zimmerman it is. So we are now doing the stack that everybody's going to do. Boston and Washington. Who am I grabbing from Boston? Boston, we like Devers a lot. I remember that. We also like Benintendi. We also like Betts.
Yes.
And on the Nat side, we also like Rendon a lot. Rendon is an A and an A on DraftKings. I think I'm going to go Rendon first.
I'm fine with that. I like him.
I have a little bit of Rendon already. Let's see. Yeah, I have Zimmerman at first, guys. So Zimmerman is in. Second base from either Boston. For Boston, we could get Nunez, who, frankly, I don't even know anything about. He did not come up in any of my projections.
Eduardo Nunez?
Yeah.
I have him in right now.
Like in your lineup?
Yep.
He's a B and an A, so I guess I should have.
Current shortstop.
All right, Eduardo Nunez is in for me now then, because we like him.
Eduardo Nunez, come on down.
Should I put him at second base or shortstop?
That's a good question.
If I go shortstop, there really isn't anybody great in a stack capacity unless I like Defo, which I do.
Eduardo Nunez, second or short? I mean, if you can do second and go to like Trey Turner as your shortstop, that'd be perfect.
So do we like Trey Turner? Because somebody actually mentioned in the chat before. I didn't hit it up because we were just kind of talking about something else. Do we like Trey Turner? Like, Trey Turner has been pretty shitty lately. I know that doesn't matter in baseball.
I like him a lot.
Okay. All right, so let's see. I'm going to go Nunez at second. So let's get Nunez. Eduardo Nunez from the Red Sox, who I definitely knew about a long time ago and not is putting in for the first time now. Which Red Sox outfielders? Martinez graded out the best for me. He's got the best ISO power, which is one of the stats that I look for because he might sock a few dingers in the spot to do it too. I think Martinez is the first pick. We now have 4750 for 2 more outfield spots. Do I go up for Harper? Harper isn't great in the matchup, but he is Bryce Harper.
You've got 4750 for 2 guys, or 4750 each.
4750 each.
Jesus.
So I could go Betts and Benintendi. I could go some other direction. Could go Harper and Whoa, random asshole who's in.
Yeah, can you go Betts and Benintendi?
I could go Betts and Benintendi or Harper and Kendrick.
I'd probably rather Betts and Benintendi.
Okay, I think that makes sense. They seem like they're a little more equitable plays. I don't mind Kendrick though. I do have some Kendrick tonight, and that gives me Benintendi. All right. So the lineup I have right now: Eduardo Rodriguez, Andrew Triggs. Wait, hold up. Andrew Triggs, Christian Vasquez, Ryan Zimmerman, Eduardo Nunez, Anthony Rendon at third base, Trey Turner at shortstop, Benintendi, Betts, and Martinez in the outfield. And that gives me a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, that gives me a 6 stack. Yeah, 6.
We need to shave one of those guys. Beto, I'd go Benintendi over Kane.
Oh, you can go 6 in here.
I might be. I thought it was 5.
Hold on. Did I count that right?
Look, I don't play DraftKings ever, so
maybe it's 6 hitters because it's 6 including the pitcher.
Oh yeah, I think that should be fine.
All right. So yeah, so I have
you'll find out when you click save.
Yeah, no, it took it. So all right, so yeah, Rodriguez with a.
I didn't realize you were counting the pitcher in that.
Yeah, so that's a 6-3-1 stack. So there we go.
I'm in with that.
Cool. And if we went along
lock. I really hate this non-7 o'clock lock because I was just like, oh, hurry, 1 minute. And then I was like, no, 5 more minutes because fucking starts at 7:05 for some weird reason.
I like the extra 5 minutes because in my mind, I'm still thinking 4 o'clock. And as we know, I often don't give myself a lot of time at the end of the day to get my lineups in. So
I've been down that road before.
Yeah, you're all the things that you learn throughout the stream. I'm now learning firsthand as a Tim Quartermans of the world. Knee me in the groin over and over again.
Yeah. The night that I scrambled to play DK lineups and then failed and all I had was placeholders of dog shit, that was not the best day.
But you know what? You've still been okay overall over time, and I feel like that's what matters. You can screw up here and there when you're hosting a live stream, but in general, it's a plus EV thing just by being here.
Yeah.
Right?
Good luck, K-Fish.
Good luck, K-Fish. And good luck this weekend, guys. Not that we're calling the stream yet. We're going to hang out for a couple more minutes, I guess.
Yeah.
Real quick NBA. Let's touch it again since baseball's about to end. You guys know what we think.
I'm fine with this entry. I don't give a shit tonight.
NBA. That's a good point by Jizz Dragon. When the game says it starts at 7:05 for MLB, it does start at 7:05. NBA, you're locked, and then they just do all the introductions and bullshit. I don't know. Any love for the Padres this stack tonight?
No.
No, they're in a bad pitcher's park, and they also don't have a great total. So
you know what? If you're playing on FanDuel, it's a bit more appealing. If you're paying up for Cole, I think you can grab Matzkes, Perella, and Renfroe, and that's fine. I don't really love ever having like the full outfield type stack for a team. I don't know why. I just don't. But you can do that pretty safely. They're all cheap, sub 3,000 plays. They're more of a value play than like a top end play. It wouldn't be my first pick. It should be very contrarian. But like, I think their pricing is fine-ish. They've got the lefty matchup against the guy that can't miss any bats, so they should be putting a bundle of balls in play. If you catch the right sort of luck, that could just be hits on hits on hits.
Yeah, so, I mean, all right, so that works. I mean, I guess like if you're talking about a contrarian play too, the important thing is just be stacking somebody. I mean, that is the plus EV approach. So it doesn't matter. Like, you know, a Padres stack might not seem that great. Still could go off and still be valuable for you.
Derek White, since I didn't answer you on Facebook, sorry, I was out to lunch. Lefty batter versus righty pitcher or righty batter versus lefty pitcher is relatively neutral. The biggest problem is lefty pitcher versus lefty hitter. That's the most negative potential outcome. But in general, there's not a huge difference.
Interesting. I mean, like the splits can be different for a player, but as a general
righty batter versus lefty hitter is slightly better than lefty batter versus righty hitter.
Interesting. Okay.
By like a percentage point or two. Now, Justin, I told you you needed that Angels pitcher.
Trapiano was a great success. That is one of I mean, we've had a few calls that have been pretty good, but we were really the Trapiano Express was on full display yesterday.
It was. Look, I like to take my wins and gloat as much as I can, and then ignore all of my losses. Like, I never faded DeRozan.
I remember all of mine. I wear them like the memento guy, like a tattoo on my body. Yeah. They stick with me forever. All right, so let's just NBA real fast so we can just cap it off with the thing that we're going to be doing. I mean, I'll definitely be playing this weekend. Josh will have his video in the morning. We got games. Which games?
A lot of Josh tomorrow morning for everyone.
Ooh, sexy. Let's see. I guess the best approach, we're not going to go game by game, obviously, because we don't have that much time. Which games are you thinking have the best spots? I mean, these are a couple, as we're going to find in the playoffs. These matchups in general are going to be very tough, and they're going to be better defensive teams. There's no Suns to beat up on, no Magic here to beat up on. These are all competent DVP teams, confident storming the court analytic, or excuse me, crashing the glass, whatever the fuck that is, cleaning the glass. They're not teams that are going to jump off the page there. So I guess where are we looking tomorrow? Where would you think you need to be spending money?
I'm just spitballing here, so definitely watch my basketball video tomorrow. I'm really digging the price points of Kyle Lowry and DeRozan.
Would you stack them?
I don't ever really like having both of them. In a playoff scenario, that might be a little bit different because I'm assuming they're going to consolidate themselves a bit more.
Yeah, I would hope.
So more often than not, I usually have one and not the other, and I'd have to dig it. Like, I'll have more specifics on that tomorrow for sure. But just that, their pricing in particular looks like something I want to take advantage of. If I had to guess now, I like Lillard a lot.
It's hard not to like Lillard in that matchup. His first playoff game this year after a season which seemed like a statement season for him.
Home game, New Orleans has been doo-doo against guards all year.
Lots of threes.
Yeah, that Portland crowd is going to be just absolutely insane. Wow, Whiteside is the second most expensive center tomorrow. I guess it makes sense now that I look at it and like know who's playing, but holy shit.
Yeah, we on DraftKings you have Green, Aldridge, well, Embiid technically above him.
Yeah, it's only Nurkic ahead of Whiteside on FanDuel.
Yeah, I know. I mean, if you think it's that drastically, yeah, I don't know about that.
I just did the Nate Duncan. Somebody's gonna pick up their player option voice.
I don't listen to that podcast. I follow him on Twitter, but I don't listen.
Oh, every day, basically.
I don't mind Beal. 7,000 on DraftKings. Bradley Beal in the playoffs. I feel like he's got a level to go up.
I don't think he'll grade out well for me at 7,900 on FanDuel.
Yeah. I could see him not being a great projection. I just have a feel about him. He's so cheap. 7,000 might be the cheapest he has been since Wall first went out.
Like, I would much rather have DeRozan $900 cheaper on FanDuel.
But, I mean, what if Otto Porter's out?
Then we'll probably roster Oubre.
Really? Oh, man. I'm very on Beal. So this is what we're going to disagree on. We're going to have to A to D on this. Agree to disagree on old Brad Beal. I think Bradley Beal, with Wall playing again, he's been actually pretty effective with Wall, and I think people think there's they take things away. They play really well together in concert.
They do.
And I think that Beal and Wall can be actually a pretty good play tomorrow. Yeah, Wall's only 8,500, and Wall just smashed value at that price a couple days ago.
Yeah, I'm not saying I hate it. I don't think he'll grade out well for me. when all is said and done. Saric at 5,700 is a guy that I'm probably going to take a look at.
He's been dog shit lately. I know it's a different, it's playoffs, a different season.
And he blew up one recently, didn't he?
I don't think so.
He went for 30 in 28 minutes against Milwaukee in the season ender. He didn't play for a bunch of games. Oh, yeah. Okay, I was looking for this. He went for 54 against the Knicks.
That was a while ago, though, right?
Did the end of March.
Yeah,
he missed most of April.
He only missed like a couple of games. And I mean, like, the thing is, he's lost his role to Ilyasova a little bit. And that's what I don't like. Like, Ilyasova's been, like, they've been hooking Sark. I mean, Sark has also been getting hurt a lot. He had, like, I think a back injury. Then he had the face laceration, chip tooth thing. I don't know. I worry a little bit about him. I think there are other areas to go there.
So I think it's possible that we see him out there. I can see a scenario where Miami doesn't play a ton of Whiteside. And if they're just going, James Johnson at the 5, then I think that Saric and Ilyasova could, like, realistically play 4-5 in, like, a small lineup.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I don't think they've played together a lot this year, though.
I wouldn't expect it. But Miami's in a unique situation where they don't really have any, like, traditional centers outside of Whiteside.
Also, a guy who's been really good with Embiid out, Amir Johnson. And he was actually good in the season ender, too. Again, not a great BVP spot, but he's 3,900. He put up 21 fantasy points in 14 minutes versus Milwaukee, obviously a limited run. 35 and 25 versus Atlanta. I think he's been pretty good. And if you do think Whiteside's going to be out, or if he's going to be in, actually, because Amir Johnson should match up well in terms of, like, floor spacing if Whiteside's going to be in there.
Well, if we're talking Whiteside, he's an only GPP play tomorrow.
Yes.
Because he can play 18 minutes or 30 minutes.
Yeah, I agree. He'd easily be an Olynyk game.
I like Wade a lot tomorrow. Like, a lot. 4,400 on FanDuel. I'll almost guarantee that I have Wade in the majority of my lineups.
Yeah. Dwayne Wade in the playoffs. I mean, again, that's a thing to consider, too. He has 4,900 on DraftKings. It seems fine to me.
I can't get enough Wade tomorrow.
Yeah, it's a playoff thing. It's going to be shortened rotations, even for a team like the Heat, who plays, I think, like 8 or 9 guys in general in the rotation. But they should shorten a little bit. And Wade is a guy who, if shots get tough, Wade's a guy who's going to fill it up for him.
Look, Wade's going to be in the final 5, and he's going to play a lot more than, like, the 22 minutes he normally gets in the regular season, I would imagine. Yeah. Dwayne's going to be like, look, Spo, let's get my ass in here for those final 8 minutes of the fourth quarter.
Let's see. Anything else basketball you want to touch? I mean, we can wrap this up. There's a couple more. One baseball question there from Derek White.
What do we got?
Ross Leaker Bloch.
What?
Yeah, for pitcher.
I don't have that. Who asked the question?
From Derek White.
How far back? Oh, man, I had to really scroll up higher. Ross Leaker Block. I just want to make sure I have both sites in front of me. My memory for talking about DK stuff is like that of a goldfish.
It's not as near and dear to your heart. That's fair.
Ross. On right, DK, Ross. On FanDuel, none of them. Find somebody else. Go with Andrew Heaney. I mean, go with Andrew Heaney regardless. But yeah, Ross would be my answer, but it's not like I'm really excited about my answer either.
And no big deal, but Tanner Rourke is perfect through 2/3 of an inning.
That's good. I had a few performances like that in baseball. I really hung my hat on them. I made my parents clip out all those news clippings when I got 2 outs.
But I bet they were a dominant 2 outs.
Well, sometimes they were.
Actually, real quick, you're an NBA champion. Like, give me a playoff pick. I picked mine today in my email newsletter, spagsemail.com if you want to follow that.
Sorry, I only read your stuff when I get to just look at a bunch of trashy Twitter people or Tinder people, rather.
No, that's fair. It's different content for different folks.
Yeah. I'm
no,
not serious, but I don't know anything about Tinder. That came about after I met my wife, so
it is my claim to fame.
Yeah. I've never been able to mess with it. All right, so playoff picks.
I'll tell you who I have. I have the Sixers. I have the Sixers going.
I can't. I would be if I had a gun to my head. Warriors, Cavs, Warriors, champs. I can't.
It's hard to not pick.
When push comes to shove, I think that's where we end up. The only reason I have apprehension in that is because of Steph Curry's knee.
Yeah, that's not great. I mean, still, Quinn Cook has been pretty capable. He's obviously not Steph, but they have enough pieces there where they can still. I mean, that's why they have all those guys. So if one guy goes down,
they are vulnerable without Steph.
They are, and they've also just played like ass all year, and they seem to think they're going to be able to turn it on.
I mean, I fully expect them to just turn that on. Look, they're not worried about playing. Who the hell do they have in the first round? San Antonio. So they're gonna. They can beat San Antonio with their eyes closed. That's going to be one of the easiest series they'll ever have. Bryn Forbes is going to go crazy. Come on. Not worried about that.
Aldridge is going to give him problems. Aldridge has been filling it up all year. Okay. Rudy Gay has been good down the stretch.
I'll let Draymond handle. I'll let Draymond handle Aldridge.
I'm curious to see how that's going to turn out. I think that series could be tougher than the Warriors need right now, given how hurt they are.
That's me using a broom. I don't do a lot of sweeping, so I don't think I'm doing that correctly.
Cleaning is hard. I don't like cleaning either, Josh.
I'm fairly confident in Cleveland. I just can't imagine anyone beating them.
I do. Sorry for Brandon T, but I think LeBron is getting the Raptors in the second round. I think LeBron is going to single-handedly decimate the Raptors. I think he's going to break the backs of the Pacers and the Raptors in the first 2 rounds, and then he's going to run into the Sixers again. And that's a matchup I want to see. That one game they had like a week ago or 2 weeks ago was
great,
and that was just men being like alpha dog men. That was basketball at its best, and that's what I want to see again.
Yeah. It's really hard for me to go to a different direction. I'll say this. If I were going a different direction, it wouldn't be a different East team. It would be the Rockets.
I like the Rockets to get to the conference finals and then lose to the Warriors. Yeah. But I could see the Rockets going all the way. I mean, everybody's doubting them, and that makes me think that it's just likely. They've been good all year. There's no reason to doubt them.
They can beat them. I can't bet against a team that's been in the finals for 3 straight years and have only gotten to be like stronger in theory. I don't really care about their regular season record. I wouldn't be trying very hard either.
It's true. I just, I think that they've learned from teams like, the Lakers and the Bulls who were like, and not that the Warriors aren't a historically great team, but I feel like they're more influenced by seeing those guys who are like, well, they did it, so we're going to do it. And they treated this whole season like a joke in a way where it seems like they're due for some comeuppance from somebody. I mean, like, honestly, if I were a betting man, the Jazz, at whatever odds they are on at Vegas to get to the finals, that team is nasty. That team is a really good team, and we've talked about it. We both like them.
I love the Jazz. They don't have the offense in the playoffs. They don't have someone that can actually create, and that can be Donovan Mitchell. It can't be Donovan Mitchell in his rookie year.
Rubio, though, has been hitting a lot of shots. Like, his last month has been stellar. I mean,
they'll give him every shot he wants to take. They'll put Klay Thompson on Donovan Mitchell, and he'll shit himself in the playoffs. And then Rubio, they'll play 6 feet off him. If they're going to get beat by Rubio threes, they'll take their shot with that.
But the thing is, it's not just Rubio. It's Rubio. It's Ingles. Favors has done some stuff inside. I mean, Gobert is still Gobert. They just have a lot of ways they can go. In the bench, too, with Crowder, they have a little nastiness. He can spread the floor.
Look, they're great defensively. They have no creation. Not in the playoffs.
I think you're really selling Ricky Rubio short. I mean, I don't know that I'm confident enough to say that. He's been hurt, and that worries me a little.
I'm a monster Ricky Rubio fan. He's not that guy. Like, he's not the guy that creates for them in the playoffs here.
I think Minnesota Rubio, you're right. I think current Jazz Rubio has been on a whole other level, which I've been Like I've watched him a lot, and I think the data too backs it out. Just people for some reason have the confirmation bias thing where you're like, Rubio hasn't been there, can't hit open shots. He's shot like 50% down the stretch. I mean, and
I love Ricky Rubio. I've been on the Ricky Rubio bandwagon for a very long time.
But you're like a parent who won't let his child grow up. You're
he shot 35% from 3. Like, that's good-ish. It's 52nd percentile for point guards. So, I mean, what are we really talking about here?
But I don't know.
His effective field goal percentage, 55th percentile for point guards. Like, he's not shitty anymore, is basically what the talking point is. He went from being a complete zero shooter, why did I say it like that? Shooter, to being an average shooter, which is fine, but he needs to be able to create for that shot. They'll give him that shit all day.
I would love there to be a bet to make, but I don't know that they can win that matchup. Like, I don't believe it concretely enough to say, like, but Rubio, I think people are sleeping on Rubio. If he's healthy, I think he's a different player. I know the data. I get it. But the thing is, him being that mediocre at that, when he's been so good at the other parts of it, changes the game completely and how he spaces the floor, how we can get passing lanes. And Ingles and him work really well together. Mitchell's been good. The Jazz would be my sneak pick. That's all I'm saying.
Look, I love him. I love Gobert, one of my favorite players in the league. They are missing a guy that can go and get a bucket.
Joey Ingles
is not a guy that can go get a bucket. Someone will give him a bucket, but he's not going to get it himself.
That's fair. Yeah, I think I'm trying to think what's the best overall playoff matchup to look at for fantasy purposes. I think people are going to think the Minnesota-Houston one will be a good one. Obviously, the Portland-Pelicans one is going to be a good one to look at, but everybody's going to be so expensive from that game. So
yeah,
that's tough. But it's going to be exciting. This is going to be a really good playoff. I'm pretty jazzed for this, and not just the DFS part, but the games themselves are going to be really good. We have a lot of good matchups and good matchups shaping up for the future rounds too. Pun intended.
I'm going to be very jazzed for this.
You know what? It wasn't, but that's a great note to go on. Another broadcasting thing, and I didn't even compliment myself this time. You did.
I'm right there for you.
I appreciate it. We're a good team, Josh. I appreciate that.
Guys, make sure nobody's left.
No, nobody. Yeah, make sure to go to FanDuel.com/Awesemo, AWESEMO, to go join our Portland Trailblazers, New Orleans Pelicans single game experience. That's what we're doing tomorrow. It's a $3 single entry. So you can compete against me, Josh, Jake Hari, who was in the chat before, whose Venmo was open, and Awesemo himself. So, I mean, you just get in there. It's fun. It's kind of a community building thing we're doing where we hope you'll play against us and we can all do DFS things and eventually play WNBA together in a couple of weeks.
And I'm coming for everybody here. I'm coming for the whole staff. I'm coming for the boss man. I'll mess around.
For WNBA.
I'm coming for everyone.
Bill Butlicker, if you place higher than Awesemo, I don't know that you can get a job, but that's big bragging rights. Yeah. If you took down the tournament and you beat Awesemo within the span of a couple of weeks, I think you got some real bona fides.
All right, Bill Butlicker, here comes for you. You want this? If you beat him, you can be a moderator in the chat.
Ooh, that's big. That's a lot of Butlicker pride. I think the family would be like, "Wow, we're so proud of you, Bill. You've accomplished so much." Cool. That's it. Go tune in this weekend, subscribe, like the video, make sure to watch Josh's stuff this weekend. Josh will be doing playoff content for you because he cares and loves you, and MLB stuff.
I do. Tons of shit coming out tomorrow.
Yeah. And, FanDuel.com/Awesemo, AWESEMO. And we'll see you guys on Monday for the live stream, but Josh will be here this weekend. So tune in.
Later, people.
Bye-bye.